Good evening, and welcome to another somber version of Diatribes from the Voice of Doom. Now here's your somnambulant and sophisticated host, Voice of Doom. Alright. So I'm going to keep the old diatribes going for a while because there's a lot to say. And I had a really good one planned this morning when I woke up at 5:30 and had it all planned out and watched YouTube and then did a few things around the house and did this and that and never got around to doing the diatribe, and I think it was going to be a good one, but we'll see what happens. Go to work, make money, lose it at the casino, and end up at square one again. And a bit inebriated. So maybe that'll be a better diatribe than what I had planned, but I wanted to talk about things that are happening. First of all, things aren't the way they were 40 years ago. This thing where we can all communicate with each other is a blessing and it's a curse. Because you can't do things the way you used to, and they don't do things the way they used to. Okay, this election. You use hyperbola like you're in a 10th, fourth grade election running for president of the fourth grade class, and just use whatever words come out of your mouth to try to win your point with stupid people who vote. You create havoc. Now let me explain something to you. Incredibly well-paid political advisors who got a degree in law in some matchbook college. You use hyperbole like this guy is Hitler, this guy is a fascist, this guy is this guy is that, this guy is going to take you back to the Stone Age. There's impressionable idiots, millions of them, throughout the length and breadth and whatever of what is the United States, who are very stupid and they listen to you. And now Orangey wins by a landslide, and it says to these idiots, "I'm going to be a slave. All women's rights are gone. All women's reproductive rights." Now I'm starting to remember what I was going to talk about. The canards, the strawmen. I mean, these people are having cows, and they're Xers and Zers or whatever. They're Gen Z and younger, and they were convinced by the stupid-ass D's using their damn hyperbola, that Hitler is going to be elected and you're all going to be enslaved. Because they don't have anything else to go on. So this whole election system is a joke for anybody who thinks. But, alright, let's keep going. Canards and strawmen. The D's used people to their advantage. They're evil people. Anybody with half a brain can see it. Transgenderism is a real thing for certain people. And I'll explain something to you because I know more about it than anybody on this planet. They want to pass. They don't want to stick out. And the only ones that do stick out are people who are being used for whatever reason to divide people, to say there's two sexes, there's not two sexes, there's 3 genders, there's 10 genders, there's 50 genders. going to explain a little bit about how this universe is for all you mortals. There's a lot of people out there with a lot of different proclivities, and they don't want to make it public. But I would say 99.999% of everybody out there has a weird little habit that they don't want people to know about. So whether you think you're a woman, you want to be a woman, you want to look like a woman, you want to put on makeup, you want to put on girdles, you want to dress up like a fox or a hound or a raccoon, it's all proclivities that have to do with the course of existence throughout trillions of lifetimes. I don't know why people don't get it. These D's used the transgender people, and they've been abused, and now they are more outcasts than ever because people don't like the whole idea of this whole thing. And if they just leave everything alone, people are getting more and more homogenized because of the food we eat. There's more hormones in all these foods that are turning people into homogeneous blobs. It doesn't matter. Have kids, don't have kids. I was transgender since I was 5. I knew it back in 1964. I was like, I want to be a different person. But what happened was I ameliorated it into a certain thing, like I don't have to have parts cut off. I can be a certain way, and I can get married and have kids because that's what I wanted to do. I don't want to get in it. You can go back into my playlists and look at all that and get the whole detail. It's a Strawman, and they were used. You can have, all right. This might be a long one because I got to explain all this crap to you. Transgender people want to pass. And if through the course of human events, there are people who transition from one sex to another, supposedly, through chemicals, and they get on a soccer team and they're not particularly good or bad, then it's all right. Then they're passing, they're blending in. You don't even have to don't even say anything. I've been this way since I was 6, and I've done all these things, and now I can pass as one of you. I don't have to say anything to you about that. That's how they categorize people. Then that'll be all right. But you have hulking people winning medals in the Olympics with swimming, and you have hulks beating up people in the ring. No, that's not going to fly, and it shouldn't fly. And if they were truly transgender, they wouldn't want it to fly because they wouldn't want to stick out. They'd want to pass. So that's that. Now, the abortion thing. People can abort all they want. I don't know what their problem is. They're making it like women's health rights. Oh my God. I'm not going to even go into this too much. The Dobbs decision took it back to the states, and they got rid of Roe versus Wade, which is what all the states can do what they want, and you can go from state to state. I mean, if that's all your raison d'etre is to be impregnated so that you can have an abortion, then you're kind of an evil person, and you should probably just get off the planet. Because think about what you're saying. I want the right to be able to impregnate myself with a stranger so I can get rid of it. Come on. You're destroying life. I mean, I'm not into this whole pro-life, pro-death, pro-whatever. But it seems pretty obvious And if you're militant about abortion, it doesn't make sense. Don't have a kid. If you're so into abortion, just don't have a, come on. I don't know. These are people, I don't know what they are. I wouldn't call them people. They're a detriment to society. Because they want to have the right to destroy their own creation. So, the whole thing's a canard and a straw man. It should be burned down because Orangey never said he was going to destroy women's health. You can't do anything. We're going to keep track of There's wokester idiots out on X or whatever. Or do they still have that TikTok? It's going to fade. But they're still on there and saying, my rights as a woman. They're going to keep track of my, my menstrual cycle. I mean, come on. That's what the D's have engendered in these idiots. So we have like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 million people in the planet, in the country that are insane, mentally ill. Because the D's put this idea in their head and they're idiots. They haven't learned a damn thing. You go to high school, whatever. Just hang around with their friends and just kind of phone it in. Literally. Okay, now I'm going to get to the bad part. Because I've already talked about how these canards should be destroyed, burned. The straw men should be annihilated. Immolated. Okay. Orangey's got a hard time because it's going to be his team against the deep state and the billionaires who want a different vision of what's going to happen in the near future. And I'm going to have to, it's going to be long. I'm sorry. But I got to explain how the universe works and how this planet's going to play out. Okay. I've already said it's very complicated. This planet is extremely complicated. Oh my God. There's wires everywhere. And lights and buildings that are huge and they got to be maintained. And we can't do it. And we're going to get AI to do it. And that means there's going to be billions of people who don't have a reason to be here. They don't need to be picking berries. They don't need to be waiting on tables. They don't need to be manicuring or carrying cargo from a ship to a dock onto a truck. There's no need for that. AI can do it much better and more efficiently. And it's going to happen in the next 10 years. Now, my postulate a priori is some of these old geezer billionaires don't want to wait. They're not like Genghis Khan passing on their legacy. They know their life is short because that's how life was for the last 10,000 years up until the recent past. But now it's like I can live for longer. I can have my fallout shelter, and I want to see a difference on this planet where I can be comfortable. Which means that we're still not out of the woods. Orangey's going to go up against this concept of depopulation and redistribution. I mean, there's a new world order coming, and I'm for a new world order, but not in the kind that they want, because they want to get rid of 6 billion people. And that means there's less people, and the resources can be efficiently allocated, and it can be a really, very, a good planet, but 6 billion people. So Orangey's got his work cut out because I've seen some theories that they want to use him as a fall guy. and have a conflagration on his watch. Now, what the political stuff is ridiculous. There's going to be a whole new thing going on. This politics thing and, two parties and all that is going to go by the wayside real fast if Orangey doesn't prevail. And I don't know if Elon's on his side really, but I think he is, and he's got a lot of resources and brains. So it's a whole new thing here. Forget the D's. They're over. Forget the Goppers. It's a power struggle that's beyond that. And it's coming down fast. Helter skelter. So I said quite a bit there. I know I could say more. But the way these D's have abused the people, I can't get over it really when you look at it objectively, objective reality as opposed to subjective wisdom. I mean, the D's really did a lot of damage. They'll never get my vote again for the rest of my life because they just use too much sophomoric rhetoric, just, high school stuff. I'll give you free ice cream. Just using these things that scare people. And now we're going to have renegades out there doing whatever. And who knows, Soros can whip up his rioting again. You notice they don't riot after Orangey wins because they weren't instructed to. They weren't paid to. Everything's money. Oprah got money from Gargoyle. I wanted to comment on that too. I may as well let it go a while. Who would you rather put your faith in? A gargoyle who gets $1 billion in campaign funds and after losing is $20 million in debt. Or Orangey, who just does his thing and sells hats and flags and gets this and that and gets like 500 million and probably has a lot of money left over and wins. Economically, from a pragmatic point, who would you put your faith in? I mean, it's so obvious that the fact that people disagree shows how bad it is. There's just many people that are so delusional. So maybe the 6 billion, I don't know. I'm not going to judge if we should get rid of 6 billion people. I'm staying because I gotta keep this law thing going with the mystic law, and if it's lost, then we're in big trouble. So I gotta be around, but I don't know. It's just some existential stuff. I'm kind of half out of it. It was a good one, I think. It was one of my best. It'll go on the best of doom because I'm pretty brilliant when you think about it. So thanks to all my fans, and I hope more people join up because there's a lot to be said and a lot to be done. We got to keep it going. That's it. I'm done. I'll talk to you later. Bye.